Okay, hi. Thank you for coming on time. My name is Herna and I'll be a counselor for today. May I know how do I address you?
Rahim.
Okay, Mr. Rahim, is this like your first time attending a counseling session?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll actually move on to just give you a brief description about what counseling is all about. So basically, counseling is just a process where I will actually provide you with solutions to any issues that you're going to be discussing with me today. So whatever decisions will actually be entirely up to you. So moving on to the cost of each counseling session, it will be around $50 per session, and each duration will be around 45 minutes to 1 hour. And the amount of sessions that we will be having will be actually depending on the progress that we have every session. And if there is any inquiries about not being able to pay for the cost of the sessions, there is actually financial schemes available for you. So you can just proceed to the administration counter. Okay, so whatever you'll be discussing will be bound on confidentiality. And yeah, so however, if you decide to harm yourself or others or any properties around this area, it's my duty to inform the relevant authorities. If you do not have any questions, do you mind signing this agreement form?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So if can we begin our counseling session?
Yes.
Okay, so may I know what actually brings you here today?
So basically, I'm here today because of my gambling addiction. I've been gambling for 6 years, and this past few months it has become so severe that I became broke, and at the same time, my family members neglected me. Yeah.
Actually, may I know what makes you pick up like this gambling habit?
I pick up this gambling habit from. I was introduced to gambling by my friend. So we started to gamble on football. We bet on football matches. Started like small from Singapore pools. Then after that, he brought me to some casinos, high class casinos. Then I started to become more serious about it lah. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, what causes you to pick up this gambling this gambling with your friends?
Actually, because I find that gambling is fun. Because at the same time you gain money, then in just a split of second, you can actually become rich. So that's why I feel like gambling is something enjoyable for me to do. Because it's an easy money thing for you. It's an easy money game for me.
Okay, yeah. So from what you mentioned, it seems to me like you feel it's actually a thing that you enjoy to do because you're able to, like, even though it may cause you to like be broke, at the same time actually gambling helps you to gain money at the same time. Yeah. Okay, so may I know actually how does gambling affects your daily lifestyle?
Like I said, I gamble like every single day. I spend like $300 to $500 per day. So probably it affects my lifestyle, as I sometimes have no money to buy food for myself or my family, and like I do not have money to pay for my transport to work. Yeah.
Okay, so how are you actually able to cope with all of that, like having to divide everything, like all your expenses?
Actually, I'm not really coping well because of my gambling addiction. I couldn't be wise enough to actually divide my money appropriately for certain things. So when I use too much money for gambling, I will not have enough money to pay for, like, for example, my transport.
Yeah. Okay, since you mentioned that your family actually neglected you for having to pick up this gambling habit, so may I know, like, does any one of them like ever mention to you how do they feel about it?
Oh yes, my parents actually hated my gambling habit or my gambling addiction because it burdens them. Because sometimes I would have to ask for their money since I spend my money on my gambling I spend my money on to gamble, I would need to actually approach them to seek financial help due to my gambling addiction. So I sometimes feel very guilty of my actions because not only I'm burdening myself but also I burden both my parents. Yeah.
Okay, so from what you have mentioned, it seems to me like you feel down about yourself. More to you feel bad because you are actually putting more burden on your family members due to the fact that you actually ask money from them if you do not have enough. So to summarize, you actually focus on the gambling habit that you have today. So we actually continue on planning on the goals on how you actually want to cut down on it if you intend to. So actually, firstly, before we begin, do you actually plan to cut down on gambling?
Yes, that's why I'm here.
Okay, so how do you? May I know in what ways do you actually track the progress if you manage to cut down?
Maybe I can track my daily allowance or monthly allowance to see if actually I'm spending a lot of money on gambling, because gambling uses a lot of money. So by tracking my daily bank account, probably I can prevent myself from spending too much on gambling.
Alright, I understand. So may I know what would you actually do if you feel like gambling again?
How do I feel if I feel like gambling again?
Like what will you do?
Oh, what would I do if maybe I will just ignore my friends from answering my friends' call or messages, because usually I don't gamble alone. I go with my buddies. So maybe by ignoring them, probably I can reduce my gambling habits.
Okay, so you actually try to avoid having to have contact with them if they actually ask you to go for gambling sessions. Okay, so just moving on to the last point, may I know how long you intend to take to actually cut down on your gambling habits?
I would say 6 months to 8 months, because I feel like it can be done, but I just need more motivation from someone to push me and to guide me to deal with my gambling habits.